Congratulations to be here. I've been asked to speak this morning about this verse, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 12, verse 20. And um, uh, please forgive me for anything which I say incorrect. And please feel free to share your uh, thoughts at any time. So. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Again, offer my humble obeisance unto all the Vaishnavas assembled here. The verse today is 4.12.20. तत्रानुदेव प्रवरौ चतुर्भुजौ श्यामौ किशोरावरुणाम्भुजे क्षणौ स्थितावस्थभ्य गदां सुवाससौ किरीटहराङ्गदचारुकुण्डलौ तत्रानुदेव प्रवरौ चतुर्भुजौ श्यामौ किशोरावरुणाम्भुजे क्षणौ स्थिता अवस्थभ्य गदां सुवाससौ किरीटहरणाङ्गदचारुकुण्डलौ तत्रानुदेव प्रवरौ चतुर्भुजौ श्यामौ किशोरावरुणाम्भुजे क्षणौ स्थितावस्थभ्य गदां सुवाससौ किरीटहरणाङ्गदचारुकुण्डलौ
तत्रानुदेव प्रवरौ चतुर्भुजौ श्यामौ किशोरौ
किशोरावरुणाम्भुजे क्षणौ
स्थितौ अवस्थभ्य गतां सुवाससौ
किरीटहरणाङ्गदचारुकुण्डलौ तत्रानुदेव प्रवरौ चतुर्भुजौ श्यामौ किशोरावरुणाम्भुजे क्षणौ स्थितावस्थभ्य गदां सुवाससौ किरीटहरणाङ्गदचारुकुण्डलौ तत्र there anu then Deva Pravarau,
Deva Pravarau,
two very beautiful demigods.
two very beautiful demigods,
Chatubhujau,
Chatubhujau,
with four arms.
with the four arms,
Shyamau,
Yamau,
blackish.
blackish,
Kishorau,
Kishorau,
quite young.
white egg,
Aruna,
Aruna,
reddish.
reddish,
Ambuja,
Ambuja,
lotus flower.
lotus flower,
Ikshanu,
Ikshano,
with eyes.
with eyes,
Sthithau,
Titao,
situated.
situated,
Avasthabhya,
Avastadhya,
holding.
holding,
Gadam,
Gadam,
club.
clubs,
Suvasasau,
Vasasau,
with nice garments.
with a nice garment,
Kirita,
Krita,
helmets.
helmet,
Hara,
Hara,
necklaces.
necklaces,
Angada,
Angada,
bracelets.
bracelets,
Charu,
Charu,
beautiful.
beautiful,
Kundalau,
Kundala,
with earrings.
with earrings.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Translation. Dhruva Maharaja saw two very beautiful associates of Lord Vishnu in the plain. They had four hands and a blackish bodily luster. They were very youthful, and their eyes were just like reddish lotus flowers. They held clubs in their hands, and they were dressed in very attractive garments with helmets and were decorated with necklaces, bracelets, and earrings. Purport. The inhabitants of Vishnu Loka are of the same bodily feature as Lord Vishnu, and they also hold club, conch shell, lotus flower, and disc. In this verse, it is very distinctly stated that they had four hands and were nicely dressed. The description of their bodily decorations corresponds exactly to that of Vishnu. So the two uncommon personalities who descended from the airplane came directly from Vishnu Loka, or the planet where Lord Vishnu lives. So if we see this verse here, Tatranudeva Pravarau Chaturbhujau. So the word Deva Pravarau can be translated as associates, attendants. So even though the word-to-word translation here say demigods, but there are other verses where it has been the literal meaning of Pravarau is associates, and we can see that in the 7th canto, chapter 1, the signs of God. There, if we see that the first chapter is God, because God is partial to anyone. So that in that chapter, we can say that Pravarau is translated as associates or attendants of Lord Vishnu. Chaturbhujau, they all come with four hands. Shyam is blackish in color. Kishore, which is young. Arunam Bhujakshano, so their eyes are like lotus flower, sthita, situated. And what all they have? They have gada, they have the club, Suvasasau Kirita, so Hara, which is the garland, helmets, Kundalau, the earrings. So all these things they possess with nice, they come with nice yellow garments. And so that's this verse. The way I've put this discussion here is, so where are these associates coming from? These are associates of Lord Vishnu. So they are coming from Vishnu Loka. So the Vishnu Loka, which is being referred to in this verse, is the milk ocean, where the Vishnu, who is lying in the milk ocean, called as Kshira Daka Shai Vishnu. Shai means lying down. It's lying down in the milk ocean, which is milk is Kshira. Shai Vishnu. So that is the place where these inhabitants are coming from. And so where exactly are they taking Dhruva Maharaj in this airplane? They're taking the Dhruva Maharaj to this planet called as the Dhruva Loka, which existed even before these pastimes, except that there was not a predominating deity. We can see that in the previous chapter. But this Dhruvaloka, where exactly is this plane going to travel? So this is it is as good as the Vaikunta because it's a spiritual abode, and the Lord is present there in the form of Kshirodakasai Vishnu. So if we see the reference where from this is the earth here, okay, so this is the Bhumandala. So and this will also serve as a prelude to the fifth canto, which will come after a couple of chapters from at the end of the fourth canto. So I thought we will first see a reference here. So the first part of the discussion is going to be a little scientific. We will go through the different planetary systems. So if we see here, it's gone. Yes, I am sharing the screen. It's not coming. I'll do it again. It is sharing, right?
It's coming on Zoom, Prabhu.
Okay, very good. Okay. So if we see the Bhagavatam says, Canto 5, chapter 22, verse 8. Okay, so a series of things I'm going to take from that chapter right now. The moon is situated 100,000 yojanas above the rays of the sunshine. Okay, so here is the sun god. And then 100,000 yojanas. Okay, so in this, above that, the moon is situated. Okay, so
One is closer.
no. I'll come to that later. It's not like that.
Right.
So that's where the moon is situated. And then here we can see for the reference, this is Mount Meru. Okay. And here the moon, just above that plane of the Mount Meru, the moon is there. Okay. And then above the moon, 300,000 yojanas above the moon, there are the 27 constellations. It used to be 28 constellations, a set of stars, but before a couple of Chaturyugas, the 28th constellation, it moved away from this path, and that was called as Abhijit. So in the 24th cycle in the Treta Yuga, if we see when Sri Ramachandra Prabhu was here, at that time, we can see that in his coronation, the star which was in the ascendant is the eastern horizon, and in there, the star that was there was Abhijit. And it was a very auspicious star, which is not there anymore. So now the last in the 27th is called as Revati. And after that, the first will again come, which is called Ashwini. So these are the 27 constellations that are revolving, and they're all considered as spouse of the moon. Okay, so if we can see here, I am all this with everything I'm doing here is with reference to the pole star today. Okay, the Dhruva Loka, because that's where Dhruva Maharaj is going to go. So here is the pole star. We can say is about, so assume that this is a plane, the plane of the nakshatras. Okay, so if you see in the sky, there is a plane of nakshatras, which is, so if this is the earth, and then you have a plane of nakshatras going, they're all in the same line. Okay, they're all in the same line. It is so fantastic to look at. Okay, so the entire constellation, if you see the sky, let's say you start from the eastern horizon, you have, say, let's say Aries. Okay, let's call that as number one. And then you go straight along if you draw a circle, it'll go, and then you'll come to the next one, which will be called as the Taurus. And then you go along the circle a little more, then you will get the next one, which is Mithuna, Gemini. And then you will get Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio. So it all goes in a circle, and then it comes to Pisces, and then comes back to Aries. So it is so fantastic that all these constellations exactly are in the same plane. So even now, it's very hard for a material scientist to explain why is it like they're all in the same plane? Why is this set of constellation, which is taken as a reference? So if we start with a circle from the eastern, so Aries, then you have the Aries, then you have Taurus, then you have Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, and then Libra, Scorpio, and then you have Sagittarius, and then you have Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, again back to Aries. So they all form exactly a circle. And then if you even see the planets, they are also in a straight line. You cannot see the planets, whether you see Mercury, Venus, Mars, all of them, they all appear in the same line. They're all planar. Okay, so it is very hard. It's not like they're going up and down and all. It's planar from our reference point. Okay, on the pole star, so Dhruva Maharaj is going to be taken to this planet, the pole star, where the Milk Ocean resides. So we can actually see that the constellation. So each of these constellation, which is exactly, it's so wonderful that all these things have been said so clearly in the scriptures, but there is no rational explanation from even the astronomers these days why all these things are, all the planets, if you see, they will only move in this background from Aries all the way to Pisces. They will only move in that background. I have never seen any astronomer who comments about it. It's the Vedic system is such a wonderful system. Let's say that in the background, you have the stars. Okay, that is, what are the stars? Like if you see Aries here, where is Aries? Aries, here, Aries. There are three sets of stars here. One is Ashwini, then you have Bharani, and then you have Kritika. So a planet will move, and the planet is in the foreground. Let's take any planet, Mercury, Jupiter, Rahu, Ketu, any planet you take, they're all in the foreground. And then you take these stars in the background. So these stars are the background and the planets are the foreground. So, and then the planets move only in this path. They do not move in any other path. So these days they have a very narrow vision, that as though the stars, the planets are moving around the sun. That is all they're able to think about. But the actual vision is much broader than that, that the planets are not taken against one celestial body like the sun, but it is taken against a background of stars. This is called as the sidereal system, which is very different from the Western, even the Western astrological system, which is a tropical system. So the planets move along always. If you see, they will move along this particular path. So there is an app called as the Planets app. So if you download it, anytime you'll be able to see which planet is there in what location in the sky, and you can show it to your.
Planets like in one plane.
Mhm.
And where are the stars?
The stars are in the background. So it's like you have the deities, and behind that you have a background. So the stars form the background. The planets move along the background like this. They always move only in that path.
So they are here. The stars are here.
The stars. So if you see this slide here, if you see here, the stars are the background here. Okay. And the planets are the foreground. Okay, so the planets are the foreground. So you can locate a planet in the sky based on which star is behind it.
Oh.
You got it, bro? Okay.
Where is the different Brahmaloka?
No, that I'll come to. No. That is, no. I'm only talking about these planets called as the Mercury, Venus, Rahu, Ketu, Jupiter, Saturn, okay, sun and the moon. I'm including these, sun, moon, all these are the planets. Okay, not this, not whatever they are saying. Okay, so yeah. Let's not go into all those things, Prabhu. So these are the 9 planets. You have the sun, the moon, and then you have Mercury, Venus, Rahu, Ketu, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. So these are the planets that are moving against us. The reason I thought I'll put the Dhruva Loka thing with reference to this, because in a couple of chapters, anyway, the 5th canto will come, and this will form a nice background. So now let's go to so about the moon. Okay, so all these are all revolving like this, okay, but revolving in a certain plane. So about the moon, about 200,000 yojanas, okay, our yojanas are the stars, okay. That is, we spoke about the 27 stars, okay. The 28th constellation, these are not stars, they're all constellations. The 28th one went away, okay, Abhijit. So now the Revati is the last one, 27th, followed by Ashwini. So, and then you have the Venus, okay, Shukra. Okay, and the Bhagavatam says that this planet is very auspicious, okay, of the inhabitants for the entire universe. Okay, so usually we can see that Venus is always good in anyone's horoscope in most locations, except maybe in the 9th house of a horoscope or something. Maybe it is a little not great, but otherwise, generally, it is auspicious. So, and then above that, 200,000 yojanas, above that, you have Buddha, which is Mercury. Okay, there's a spelling mistake here. Mercury, which whose influence is sometimes auspicious, sometimes inauspicious. Most of the times it is auspicious, but sometimes when it goes in, the Bhagavatam says in the 5th canto, 22nd chapter, that if it goes against the direction of the sun, sometimes it is inauspicious. Mercury positions one to in terms of one's communication. And then above that, 200,000 yojanas above the Mars, okay, above that is the Mars, okay, which is called Anga Raka, okay, Anga, the body is, Araka means rusty in color, and which is sort of a reddish hue, which is also called Mangal or Mars, okay, which is, and the Bhagavatam says is it's by and large unfavorable, okay. So everything what I'm saying here is in the 5th canto, 22nd chapter, but we are going to slowly ascend here to see where this airplane is going to travel to Dhruvaloka. And then you have Jupiter, about 200,000 yojanas above Jupiter, you have Brihaspati, okay, who is the priest of the Devatas, and the Jupiter, which is always very favorable to the qualified brahmanas. Even the Jupiter in some locations, it will be not favorable, okay. So, and then above that, another 200,000 yojanas, you have the planet Saturn, which is very inauspicious. The Bhagavatam says that. In certain houses in a horoscope, it is okay. It does good things as well, especially in the 3rd, 6th, and 11th houses of a horoscope, it does okay. And then above the Saturn, okay, you go another one above Saturn. Okay, so you have, this is about 1.1 million yojanas. You have the 7 sages. Okay, so a group of stars here, okay, called as the Saptarishi. And these stars, they are all revolving, okay, around this planet called Dhruva. Dhruvaloka is still above it, okay, but still they're all revolving around that, around the Dhruvaloka. And these sages who are always thinking about the welfare of the entire universe, they are there. And it is in surrounding the Dhruvaloka, all the heavenly planets are also situated. Like you have Indra, Varuna, all the heavenly planets, the Swargaloka is also situated, and they are also revolving around the Dhruvaloka. So the 7 stars circumambulate the Dhruvaloka, which is the residence of Lord Vishnu within this universe. Okay, and Dhruvaloka is the abode of the Lord because the milk ocean is there at Kshirodakasai Vishnu, which is situated 1.3 million yojanas from the Bhumandala. So the reference here is the Bhumandala, okay, and here is the Bhumandala, and from there 1.3 million yojanas away. And even now we can always see that at night it's always there in a fixed position. No matter, all the other planets will keep the whole constellation, from starting from Aries, Taurus, all the way going up to Pisces. They all keep moving, but the pole star is there, pivoted in the same position day and night. It's there exactly in the same position, telling that the model of this Vedic scripture is perfect. It's beyond maybe after several hundred years, the current astronomers will come to this conclusion, just as like how they came to the conclusion of the distance of the sun from the earth, which the Bhagavatam says is 96 million miles, and they have, after several iterations, the current astronomers have calculated to be around 93 million miles, which is close to the 96,000 miles. So the Bhagavatam is always correct. And this pole star, okay, is so established by the supreme will of the personality of Godhead. This pole star, which is the planet of Maharaj Dhruva, constantly shines as a central pivot for all stars and planets. So all stars and planets, they're all in different planes. Okay, and the unsleeping, invisible, most powerful time factor. So the time factor, which is the fourth factor, which is mentioned in the preface of the Bhagavad Gita, okay, causes these luminaries to revolve around the pole star. So it's very, very clear. All these stars and planets, they're all revolving. And the Bhagavatam in the 5th canto, 22nd chapter, it says that just as a huge amount of, if you see a cloud in the sky, it has a huge amount of water in it, but it is still standing there without falling. Okay, for that weight, it should be falling, but it is not falling. In the same way, the Bhagavatam says that all these planets and stars are floating in space and they're all not going to just fall down. They're all standing there by the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They're all held by threads called as the Pravaha threads, which are all, it's like a chandelier, like this chandelier, if you can see the pivot, that is the pole star. And all the different luminaries, they're all extending from that one pivot of the pole star. Okay. So, or the Dhruvaloka. So I'm just showing you here slowly the exalted position of Dhruva Maharaj, where he is, how everything is centered around that planet. Okay. So if we see here, this is a thing which the Rupanuga Vedic College, they made it initially, but from there everybody has taken this. But I think so similarly, all the planets and all the hundreds and thousands of stars, they revolve around the pole star, okay, the planet of Maharaj Dhruva, in their respective orbits, some higher, some lower. Okay, but everything is under the control of Krishna Maya Dakshena Prakriti Suyate as a Characharam. Everything is revolving under the factor time. Okay, and Krishna himself is the ultimate controller. Okay, so why? So there are so many unexplained things in science. It is very hard to explain. Even now there are 7 days of the week. Have we seen an explanation why there are 7 days a week? Why there is a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? It's always going in that cycle. Why is it that? There is no explanation. Why are all the planets going in this cycle? There is no explanation. So many things, if we see the Bhagavatam, we can find things are so clear. Even the great Mayavadi saint Prakashananda Saraswati, when he was given so many things he had studied with doubt, but when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained the different things, at that time, for the first time, he understood things clearly. So this great machine, okay, consisting of the stars and planets, it resembles this whole machinery. If you take that chandelier, okay, so with containing, it is of the shape of a dolphin, which is called as Shishumara. Okay, so Madhvacharya quotes this from the Brahmanda Purana. Jnananandatmano Vishnu. Okay, so Lord Vishnu itself is a source of all transcendental bliss and knowledge. Okay, he himself has assumed this shape of the Shishumara. This Shishumara is the Virat Rupa, which is the only form of Lord Vishnu, which is you can say as along the shape of the world, okay, shape of the universe. Okay, so all other forms are completely transcendental, but here even this form, this universe, is described as this Virat Rupa. Okay, so and assumed in the form of this Shishupara, which is the dolphin. Okay, and then Shishumara Vapusyatha Urdava Lokeshu Savyapta Adityadhyas Tadashvatha. So all the planets, beginning from the sun, everything, they are in the shelter of this Shishumara. So if you see here, the great sages, they used to meditate on this Shishumara in the form of the dolphin, and the pivot of that is the pole star. Okay, so Canto 4, chapter 9, verse 20 and 21. This is a few chapters before this. We are in the 12th chapter, in the 9th chapter. So what will happen to this Dhruva Loka? So where are these Vishnu Dutas taking Lord Dhruva Maharaj? There are two kinds of dissolutions. One is the partial dissolution, which occurs at end of one Brahma's day, which is 4.32 billion earthly years. Okay, so that is basically one kalpa is 71 Chatur Yugas. Okay, so the Lord assured Dhruva that he would exist beyond this partial dissolution, where there would be a complete dissolution, where everything will be gone, 311.2 trillion earthly years. That's at the end of the complete. So at the partial dissolution, many planets are gone. Many of the planets, the planets above the pole star, which are like the Janaloka, Tapaloka, they all will stay. All the great sages, they all will stay. But below the pole star, there are many planets that are dissolved, and that is called as the partial dissolution. At that time, the pole star would still stay. But then at the complete dissolution, which occurs 311.2 trillion years, where the entire universe is dissolved, thus at the end of the complete dissolution, Dhruva Maharaj would go directly to Vaikuntha Loka, okay, to a spiritual planet in the spiritual sky. So this one is beyond the cosmic waters. Okay, beyond the universe, you have the cosmic waters, which is called as the Karana ocean, the causal ocean, and beyond the causal ocean, there is a river. Okay, so that okay, you have a nadi there, and then beyond that, you have the Brahma Jyoti. So after cosmic dissolution, Dhruva Maharaj goes to. So this is confirmed in also this partial and complete dissolution, whatever is referred here, how Dhruva Maharaj will travel. A similar thing is also referred in Canto 3, chapter 11, verse 16 of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So you can verify this by multiple mechanisms. However, to see the greatness of Dhruva Maharaj and how this pole star is going to stay at the end of partial dissolution, even Krishna says that Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. That means from the topmost planet, above this pole star, you have all the other lokas where the sages are living, Janaloka, Tapaloka, and so on, going up to the Brahma Loka. But even those planets, everybody takes rebirth. Okay, but the pole star is still distinct where Vishnu is present. So from the highest planet down to the material world, all to the earthly planets, and then the lower planetary systems, you have Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Spatala, and so on. So all these planets, there is repeated birth and death, but not in Dhruvaloka, not in where the the milk ocean is present. And then, but however, if someone comes to Krishna's abode, Mamapetya tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate, so then there is no birth again. And this is again confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 6, Yadgatva Nivartante. This is where when the luminaries are there, where there is no luminaries, Krishna's effulgence itself is providing that thing. Those who reach the Supreme Lord's abode never return to this material world. So Dhruva Maharaj is now, in the next few verses, we're going to see this. He's going to pass through the space. Okay, so he's going to see, if you imagine a street which has street lights on both the sides, the passage from the earth to the milk ocean is similar to that, except that instead of the street lights, you're going to have the different luminaries. As you pass, you will pass through the sun, the moon on either sides. You can see the stars on either side. You can see the different Swargalokas coming on either side. So you pass through the airplane, and they all will be looking at you and then showering flowers. And this is actually confirmed. There is 10 set of verses by a Sri Vaishnava Acharya, who is called as Nammarvar. The last set of 10 verses that he composed was called as Sur Visamba, which gives exactly the same thing what Dhruva Maharaj is talking about here, and how a soul is going to move from the earth when it departs, and when it is going to the spiritual abode, the passage it takes. Some of these things can look fantastic, but as fantastic as this is some of the theories that are being propounded these days as well. But and this is not just confirmed in this one particular pastime. It's confirmed in so many pastimes in the Bhagavatam, and the travel of the soul from the earth, and we can see that as Dhruva Maharaj is going to travel, so you see here he's passing the different planets, and they all shower flowers on the Lord. on Dhruva Maharaj. And this verse is also talking, but this is I've taken this thing from the purport of this verse. The inhabitants of Vishnu Loka are of the same bodily feature as that of Lord Vishnu. And they also hold a club, conch shell, lotus flower, and disc. Okay. I took this picture from Ajamila pastime, but in this verse, it is distinctly stated that they had 4 hands and were nicely dressed. The description of their bodily decorations correspond exactly to that of Vishnu. So the Bhagavatam, and I skipped the first liberation. It's not really, it's the Sayujya Mukti. Okay, and then let's take the real liberations, which are the 4 kinds here: Salokya, Sarupya, Sarshti, and Samipya. This verse is talking about this kind of liberation here, Sarupya. So these Vishnu Dutas, and they all were resembling exactly that of, and they also Salokya, they're coming from the Vishnu planet as well, and they exactly remind one of Lord Vishnu himself. Okay, so this is I took this from Bhagavatam, purport of Canto 6, chapter 9, verse 45. And I think I'm going to sort of end soon. So this is the other part which we have to see here is that, which we will see in subsequent verses, is that liberation is the right of the pure devotee. It is the right, just as how you, a kid has the right to the father's residence. In the same way, our father being Krishna, we have the right to be in his abode. And therefore, I've taken this from Canto 10, chapter 14, verse 8. The last line alone I've taken here. Jive tayo mukti pade sa daya bhak. It's a very famous verse. It's cited all the time. This word, one of the famous things that is cited here is this word, daya bhak, which means daya bhak, one who seeks your compassion and thus tolerates all kinds of adverse conditions. This material world is full of adverse conditions all the time. And due to karma, if we are not aware of it, we have completely closed our eyes. It is there all the time. It is there. But if we are able to tolerate it, okay, due to the karma of his past deeds, it is so stringent that no matter what you do, even though the different astrological systems exist, it is not that we can go change our destiny even a very tiny bit. But it can all be changed by the free will that we eternally possess. And therefore, this stringent material nature, okay, but if we use the free will and engage in the devotional service with mind, body, and words, and offer obeisance unto the Lord, that bona fide candidate is certain, it is the right of that candidate for liberation. Daya bhak, it is the right. Okay, so it is our planet, it is our true position. This place, this earth, is where the problem is. This our current material conception. Okay, and therefore Krishna is present, is there both transcendental as well as immanent. He's also there near us as super soul. In transcendent, how he's there? He's there as Garbhodakasai Vishnu. He's there far away. Andhantarastham. Okay, so this part here, if you see, okay, within this universe, as the Garbhodakasai Vishnu, and the Brahma Samhita is saying this, Andhantarastham. So he's there in the universe, okay, and transcendent to the material universe, he is also, the Brahma Samhita also says, Goloke eva nivasati akila atma bhuto. He's also there in Goloka, transcendental to all this universe, material realm, totally transcendent to the material realm. But he's also there immanent as Paramatma. The transcendent realm feature is the Bhagavan feature. But then this is the Paramatma feature. The same verse in the Brahma Samhita says that Paramanu Chayan. Paramanu means the atoms. Every atom, you see that you can, the electrons are moving. Why is the electron moving? Why is the proton, neutron, everything in different, they all have different spins and quantum energy? Because the super soul is present. Everywhere Krishna is present as Kshirodakasai Vishnu is present everywhere as the super soul. Otherwise, nothing will move. Even not an atom will exist or any movement, anything. The presence of the movement and the energy, the quantum energy in the thing is the proof of the existence of the Lord. So as immanent, so this verse itself is talking about both transcendent and immanent presence of the Lord. Andhantarastam is the transcendental part. Paramanu is the atom. Okay, is the Chayantarastam. So that is the, and Bhagavad Gita again confirms this, Ishwara Sarvabhutanam Hriddheshu Arjuna Tishtati. So that means the locus of the Vaikuntha, in a sense, is even this material realm is actually part of the spiritual world, except that we need to have the chakshu, we need to have the eyes to be able to see the transcendental thing. With our material vision, we are not able to see it, but everything is already dovetailed to Krishna. And but still 1/4 of this universe is where all the existence is created for these kind of universes, where the Karana ocean spans, and for those who are in this so-called material realm. But once we are able to see everything in relation to Krishna, we would be able to see the fully expansive Vaikuntha, which spans the entire existence. So I will stop here. If there is any mistake, anything I've done, said incorrectly, please forgive me and please correct me. And if I missed something which should have been discussed today, please feel free to do so. Offer my humble obeisance here. Vancha kalpatrubhyascha kripasindubhyevacha patitanam padanebhyo vaishnavebhyo. Anything anybody wants to add? Prabhuji? Can you tell me that again, Prabhu?
Constellation.
Stars are in the background. That part of the universe.
Yes. Yes.
They don't travel.
They're all revolving around the pole star. Yeah. Yeah, they're all revolving around the pole star. You see, here is where the stars are. They're all revolving. Pole star is here. So,
Oh,
Mm.
there's so many stars in the sky.
Mm.
And they're also revolving.
They're all revolving.
Not in the stars, but thousands, billions.
Yeah. They're all there. They're all in different look. These 27 are usually taken for us for reference, because the different planets, they move exactly in the background of this 27. The others are all there, distributed in different places, but this 27 is especially important because the planets are all moving. They will move only against these 27.
No. Three times I asked this question. She's many stars. Science says there are 500 crores. I don't know how they got that number. So 500 crores stars are part of the universe. Because every time I speak, I always talk about these planets. 14 planets. We never talk about the stars. Today, of course, this Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, these are stars. Why we are talking about only 27 out of the crores and crores of stars?
There is excellent reason for that, Prabhu, because if we, I will show this. No, I'll take my phone, Prabhu. Thank you. It is very, it's very clear here. If we download this app, Prabhu, it's called Planets. So if it's not visible from here, but this Planet app, if you see, there is all the stars in the sky. They're all whatever is visible, not visible on the other side of the sky, everything is present. But then if you see, there is one line which goes along the whole sphere like that. Okay. And in that line, you have all this Aries, Taurus, with all these Gemini and so on. And if you see any of the planets, which is Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, anything, Sun, Moon, they will only go along that one line. They will not go away from that 27 if you put in the background, if you have the 27 stars, none of these planets will move. See, if you see here, Prabhu, see, this is Mercury. Then you have Sun, you have Jupiter. See, this is what we need, the scientists, we need to see. The Sun, the Moon, they also follow the same path of Mercury, Venus, so on, classifying one as satellite, one as planet, one as star. It is a confusing theory. But then, but because what they are saying is a model, because they're all there and they have drawn a model, but the Vedic system has a different model with the pole star as the center, as the pivot. And so if you see, so that is the reason why we are only talking about this 27 here, because the rest is not important for us from an earthly perspective, because they're all spread. You can see in the sky, all the others are there, but this line is only these 27 constellation complexes. Is that okay, bro? There's a very nice app, Planets. They tell you exactly the. I don't know, Prabhu. I've been having for 15 years. Yes, Prabhuji.
So planets too, they have the constellation at their background. But here we see the constellation is below and planets are above.
Very, very nice thing what you're saying, Prabhu. That is, this is all from this chart is done in terms of distances. Okay, so that background, so everybody does it. So the background foreground is only for astrologers. It's not for, this is for an astronomical standpoint. This is actually, this slide, I actually picked it from one devotee presentation. I think his name is Pavaneshwar Prabhu, I think. So I picked it from his presentation. Prabhuji? Oh, friend. So these slides are all his. So I took it from his presentation. So, these are all in terms of astronomical detail. But what you're saying, if we do like this, we cannot, astrology is not easy. So we have to just imagine that the background is the stars and then the planets are in the foreground. Only then it is easy for us to do astrology. So for astronomy, you can use this kind of a thing, but for astrology, you have to do the background, foreground thing. Otherwise, it'll become confusing.
Background would be further, right?
Yeah. Don't take that literally. Just imagine it is, this one is correct, whatever we have done here. Background or foreground, it doesn't matter, because like if you have the stars going like this, the planets are either going around like this in the same thing, or like this. Either way, the background is the stars. You get what I'm saying? Huh? Correct. From the Dhruva that is very good, Prabhu. Very good. So if you take but even that is not true, Prabhu. Like if you see the moon and the sun, they are here. But still, this is the background. Just take that background, Prabhu, and then bring it down all the way and put it at the plane of the earth. Don't keep the background there. Don't keep the background at 200,000 yojanas. Just bring that whole plane down. Then everything will become background with reference to Dhruva Loka. If you want to do it in terms of the earth, then take the background and put it at the level of the pole star. Is that okay, Prabhu? We'll stop here, Prabhu.
So this is only for Milky Galaxy.
No, I don't know what is Milky Galaxy and all, Prabhu. That is, I have no idea what that is. This is our Brahmanda. Our whole, and only like one small fraction of the Brahmanda. Because if you see here the Bhumandala, okay, I left all the lower planetary systems. And then I left all the planets above the Dhruva Loka too. I left all the Mahaloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, all those things I left. Up to Brahma Loka, I left all those things. The reason why, because this lecture is on Dhruva Loka and the airplane going to Dhruva Loka. So I only spoke about from Bhumandala all the way to Dhruva Loka.
This is only for our universe.
Yeah. One part of our universe. That is all I did today. So, is that good, Prabhu? Okay, thank you. Vancha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhu bevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
HG Jai.
Thank you very much, Prabhu.